Welcome to the final round of the audition, where contestants will be auditioning live. We started with 14 people at the beginning of the season, and we are down to the final 8 contestants. They will be competing in partner auditions today. At the end of the show, we'll hand the vote over to you to choose the final 6 that will be the talent for the Live 5 show. That means 2 more will be leaving us after today's vote. It's time to get started. The first 2 up are Nathan V and Sophia U.
I'm the oldest of 3 children. My first sister's name is Jasmine, and she's 7 years old. And then my second sister, Rosalind, or Rosie, is about 3 years old. Now, when Rosie was 9 months old, she caught a virus, and the virus made her temperature spike up real high, real fast. She went up to 102, so it's not good. Because her body didn't know how to react, she just started vibrating or shaking, and so we just thought she was cold and she was shivering, so we gave her some blankets, but like 5 to 10 minutes later, she was still shaking, and by that time we realized something was wrong. So my dad called 911, and the ambulance, the fireman, and cops all showed up and went into our living room, surrounded her, and did what they could. Gave her ice and whatnot, and tried to help her out. Then, when they did what they could, they rushed her to the hospital with my mom. Now, in situations like this, normally my response is to panic, worry, call my parents' cell phones over and over and over and over until I got a response. But I knew my mom was helping Rosie. So I prayed that God would help Rosie, and He did. And He gave me peace. And now Rosie today is alive and well. Say hi, Rosie. Hi. No, not to me, to them. Hi. And so now I don't worry as much, and yeah, Rosie's okay. Ew!
The hardship was with my grandma 4 years ago. She was 72, and she had just picked me up from school, and she was driving into the driveway, and she wasn't able to lift her foot off the gas pedal, so she had slightly crashed into our garage. She didn't know what happened, but she didn't know there was kind of like stuff would happen later, and later on she started falling in the middle of just walking, and she would hurt herself, or sometimes hit her head, and sometimes one time she had to go to the hospital for it, like the ER, and then she couldn't walk anymore. And then while she wouldn't be able to walk, she would watch TV, but then she wasn't able to grab things anymore, and later on she was diagnosed with dementia, and I would call her Nana, and Nana would, she could talk, but I'd say, "Hi, Nana," and she'd be like, "Oh, hi, Nana," back to me. So she wouldn't really say my name anymore. And so my grandpa would have to have a maid to come help him out with her, and eventually it got really expensive, and he thought the best thing would be to move back to where they came from, their home country, Colombia. So now they're living in Bogota, Colombia, and my grandma's doing well. She's getting help with the maids and stuff. Same way as here, it's just a bit easier, and I miss her being here. It's not the same, but I love her very much, and I think that she's gonna be all right.
Here they are, Nathan V and Sophia U.
Good morning, Trojans.
One of the latest stories on the street. The fastest female sprinter, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, got a world record time at the championships in the 100-meter dash in Doha, a small country east of Saudi Arabia.
With an astonishing time of 10.71 seconds for the 100-meter dash, making her the fastest woman on earth. After she won, she stated that she got her unicorns, referring to doing something impossible.
Well, that's a good quote, because I used to love unicorns. Anyway, only 40,000 people showed up to the race, and only a few supported her, but she still came through with a win. That's real girl power.
As she talked to the reporter, she said, "My secret is just staying humble and knowing who you are as a person or athlete, and just continue to work hard." Now that's good sportsmanship.
Shelly Ann is the true definition of a girl boss.
I agree. Well, we're out of time, and that's the latest news.
Bye, Trojans!
Do you think that, there's a difference between what men and women can accomplish in terms of physical capabilities?
Not really. If you work hard enough, you can do something.
Yeah. The next two up are Sean and Cheyenne.
My personal victory goes on about self-esteem and stuff. I was not always like this, and back in second grade, as you know from the last level, I have an autistic brother. His name is Mark. He's great, and because he's special needs, he needs some special attention and extra attention. So we gave him all the attention, leaving no attention for me. So my parents put up high standards for me to meet, but really I couldn't because I'm second grade. And so that means nobody was really proud of me. I know it's pretty sad, but it changes. In 5th grade, it was a good year. I had good grades, a good teacher, and there was a new website introduced to me called Storybird. I made a story called Savage Shark about a shark turning into a Hulk and helping people. So even though that was stupid, lots of people liked it. People wrote stories about me. So that made me really happy, and that helped me gain self-confidence to be able to perform in front of people in musicals for the last 4 years, and to be able to audition for the Live in 5 show like I did last year and I'm doing right now. Anyway, even though people said I did bad at my job or I made lots of mistakes, I never gave up and I kept doing it until I improved. So really the moral of this is don't let anyone bring you down. Don't let anything ruin your self-confidence.
Some people don't understand what it's like battling an illness every day. Some people have it easy, while it can be really hard for others. Hi, my name is Cheyenne Jordan, and this is my story about sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease is something I was born with. It is not contagious, but has to do with genes I inherited from my mom and dad's side. People without sickle cell have round blood cells filled with oxygen. However, many of my red blood cells are sickle-shaped, like crescent moons or icicles. This means there can be limited oxygen flow to my organs that can be life-threatening, including my bones. I learned this early in life in the 1st grade, where I had a fall from the monkey bars and it left me with 4 compressed fractures on my spine. I had to wear a brace, which not only meant I had to take a break from the monkey bars, but I had a hard time doing basic movements, like tying my shoe, resting my head on the table, and it was sad when I couldn't participate in my favorite games like Heads Up 7-Up. I've had many hospitalizations in my life, including when I had to have my gallbladder removed. I thank God that I recovered from that, and that I have doctors and family to help me understand what my body needs to stay healthy. I have come a long way with lots of TLC from them, and I can now gladly say that I may have sickle cell, but sickle cell does not have me.
Here they are, Cheyenne and Sean.
This is the Live in 5 show.
You're Sean, and I'm Shy. Today we'll be talking about the return of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Marvel and Sony have recently announced the return of Spider-Man to the world of Marvel for a final 3rd movie.
Tom Holland and the cast of the previous Spider-Man movies will be back for another marvelous Marvel movie to star in.
The previous 9 Spider-Man movies, including Venom, were box office smashing hits that gained lots of profit from ticket sales and merchandise. Despite our knowledge of a 3rd movie, we are yet to find out what it is about and who might be the next antagonist.
Disney will take 25% of the budget and 25% of the profit, while Sony will take 75% of the budget and profit remaining from the movie.
The last few Spider-Man movies have been a collaboration between Sony Pictures and Marvel, but recently when they broke up, they still found a compromise to make the 3rd Spider-Man movie.
Last Friday, they announced that they will be producing a 3rd Spider-Man movie in the Spider-Man Homecoming series. Sean, are you excited about the new Spider-Man movie?
Of course, I've always been a fan of Marvel, and I'm excited to see where it goes. What about you, Shai?
Me too. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm also a fan as well, and let's see what secrets we can uncrack.
Thanks for watching. I'm Sean.
And I'm Shy, and we'll see you guys next time.
quick question. Who do you think's the best Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
Tobey Maguire. All right.
No.
Anyway, time to give it up to these two, Maya and Sophia A.
On June 23, 2006, I was born at St. Mary's Hospital in Long Beach, California. When I was a baby, my biological dad struggled with a drug addiction and wasn't really involved in my life. When I turned 1 year old, my mom felt it was best that my bio dad got the help he needed to overcome his addiction, so she took me to court for full custody of me. In 2008, my mom was awarded full custody, and that was the last time I saw my bio dad. My mom and I continued to live our lives as a family of two. Later on in 2008, my mom met the man I call dad today. We've been a family ever since. He has raised me since I was a little under 2 years old. My dad told me that he loved me from the day he met me. He was always there for me and helped my mom raise me. On April 11, 2014, my mom and dad got married and naturally her last name changed. I didn't quite understand why we had different last names, but all I knew was I couldn't wait to be a Garcia too. On March 17, 2017, we decided to make it official and my dad adopted me as his own. I was super excited that I finally got to have his last name just like my mom. To this day, I have not seen my biological father, and to be honest, it doesn't really bother me. I have a loving dad who stepped up and raised me to be the person I am today. My mom and dad had 2 more kids who I call the most annoying little girls in the world, but I have to admit I wouldn't have it any other way. I love my family and they love me.
A story of adversity and victory happened to me a year ago. I had been studying ballet for many years at Long Beach Ballet, and every December I was in their production of The Nutcracker. Every year I would watch the girl playing Clara, the lead role, and I would dream of someday playing that part. Everyone in the ballet school wanted to be Clara. Last year the auditions came up for The Nutcracker and I signed up. I was very nervous as there were a lot of girls there to audition for that part. The whole thing took many hours and finally it was my turn. I went inside and danced in front of the directors. I felt good when I finished. I anxiously awaited for the results, but I wasn't expecting to get it as there were a lot of girls. Finally, the cast list came out and posted under Clara was my name. I was very happy as it was something I've been preparing for the whole year.
Here they are, Maya and Sophia A.
This is the Live and Pie Show. I'm Maya.
And I'm Sophia. Today, we will be talking about a well-loved drink at Starbucks, the pumpkin spice latte.
This latte has come out August 27, 2019. It is the top-selling seasonal beverage of all time.
It has the flavor of nutmeg, cinnamon, and clove, topped with whipped cream and real pumpkin pie spices.
So far, people everywhere have loved the seasonal Starbucks drink.
The seasonal treat gives mouth-watering fall flavors and is only served on the fall menu.
Fans everywhere are ecstatic that it is now being sold.
So be sure not to miss out on this delectable treat.
Now that's it for today, Trojans.
Get the pumpkin spice latte before it goes out of season.
All right, so about the pumpkin spice latte, do you guys actually enjoy the drink? No? No. All right. How about you, Sophia?
I like it. I kind of like anything flavored pumpkin, so.
Yeah. Do you drink coffee at all? Any of you?
No.
The final audition of the day, Riley and Lorenzo.
So every family has some sort of sad moment in their life. In my family, it would probably be when we had to deal with the loss of both of my grandparents, which I called Tatay and Nanay. Now, both of them visited every single year just to see how much we've grown. And because of that, we were very close to each other. Now, every single year, we would always hold parties just to see how much we love each other as a family. Now, because of their passing of some sort of cancer, we all as a family grew together, and because of that, we went to the Philippines twice just to visit them. Because of that, we pray every single night to them, and even some of us see them in our dreams. And we always have to think positively. So we always think about how they are no longer suffering down here on earth, and how they are happy up in heaven. Now, because of that, we always pray every single night, and I feel like that change has greatly impacted me by thinking how I have to appreciate life how it is and live life while it lasts.
Around May 2019, July, I don't know, kind of somewhere early 2019, I got the news. My mom got news that my grandma got cancer. She came home earlier than usual, like around 8 a.m., 9 a.m. because, or not a.m., sorry, p.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m. she came home because she usually works up to 3 a.m., which is really unusual to us when she came home this early. They said they were gonna go visit somewhere, so they visited my grandma's house, they said, for about an hour. When I came back, they told me and my brother the news about how she got cancer. We were really upset, especially me, because my grandma was like my best friend to me. And ever since I was like 4 years old, she was always used to be there for me. And I was scared about this because my grandpa had cancer when I was 6 years old. I couldn't understand it as a kid, and when he died, it really pushed me down because I didn't even know he was gonna die. No one told me because I was 6 years old at the time. I just didn't want to go through that experience again because that was the only time I've ever been like, really sad. And so I just want to do this now because my grandma's actually getting really better. She feels like her old self again. Sometimes even I forget that she has cancer. So I'm auditioning for Live in 5 show because she knows and my grandpa knows that it's good for me. They know I do my best. They know I am gonna do better than last year, and I just want to do this for them.
Here they are, Riley and Lorenzo.
What's happening, people? It's Riley once again.
Hello, it's Lorenzo. Welcome back to another breaking news.
To start things off, a month or two ago, the two movie companies, Sony and Marvel Studios, came to a disagreement about how they shall manage Spider-Man. Over countless weeks of arguments, they have decided that Spider-Man will no longer be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
However, if you aren't lazy and actually look at your phone for news instead of just depending on us breaking news people, you may have learned that Sony and Marvel has actually came to an agreement on keeping Spidey in the MCU. Some of these reasons because since Iron Man has died, Marvel has difficult times deciding who will be the next big hero for the MCU. Now that Spider-Man's back, they have Spider-Man to replace Iron Man now for this.
Another reason is that if you did watch Spider-Man Far From Home, there was a major cliffhanger at the mid-credit scene. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, so just cover your ears. Well, this was the scene where Spidey had his identity revealed by Mysterio. And without Spider-Man in the MCU, we would have never seen what could have happened next.
There are some things that would happen now that we got Peter Parker back. We are now able to get Spider-Man 3, which should be named Spider-Man Home at Last because, he's back. Oh, Spider-Man Homeless. Because, he's identity revealed and never mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But Sony still has plans with Tom Holland besides being in the MCU. Rumors have said that Spider-Man might make an appearance in the next Venom movie, which isn't part of the MCU. Another thing fans wanted to get is if Spider-Man wasn't in the MCU, was a live-action Spider-Verse movie actually coming true? Bring back all the old Spider-Man actors, like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
Shut up.
But sadly, this might not happen anymore.
So what do you feel about this story of Spider-Man?
Honestly, I feel like keeping Tom Holland was a pretty good idea.
I feel like that's the greatest idea Marvel has ever done.
And that's it for breaking news. Tune in next week to see if tickling spaghetti is tasty.
That's the bottom line, because Low Res said so. I'm Lorenzo.
And I'm Riley. And we'll see you for the next edition of
Breaking News.
So, guys, about the Spider-Man MCU, who do you think was the best Spider-Man?
Yo, it's all about my boy Pizza Time and train saving, freaking black suited train saving Pizza Time and Tobey Maguire with the triangle eyes, Sam Raimi Spider-Man. That was the best one. I don't know why people hate about him so much.
Riley, what's your favorite Spider-Man?
I'm gonna have to disagree. I'd say Tom Holland because he made all the end games. He made it emotional. When Tony.
What do you mean? In Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker was depressed half of the time.
That's
His girlfriend cheated on him? Okay, I'm sorry. What?
It's time now for you to cast your vote for your favorite. This is the last vote where the final 6 contestants will be crowned with a position on the Live in 5 show. Vote at livein5show.com. Again, that's livein5show.com. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the live results show.